Hi guys, today we're going to start on finding the perimeter of a circle. So we call the perimeter of a circle a circumference. So when we have circles, they can come in two different forms. We can have something that has a diameter, and you can see a diameter goes from one side all the way through the center to the other side of the circle, where a radius is actually half the diameter, which means that we miss this bit, but it goes from the center all the way out to the outer edge, and that there is the radius. Now, when we find the circumference of a circle, we can use the two formulas, which is, if I know the diameter, I can use this formula here, which is circumference equals pi, which is a special number, times diameter. And if I have the radius, I use circumference equals 2 times pi times r. Okay, so our first step is, which type of circle info do we have? So, do we have a diameter, or do we have a radius? Okay, so that's really important. That's the first step, and what I would do is I would write on my little information D equals, or I would write R equals, really important, or really helpful, I should say, because when we do our next step, we will know which rule to use. Really important to have that, because then I know that if I have the diameter, I'm going to use this rule. So the next step is to write the rule. So in this case, we're going to have circumference equals, why it's in the middle I don't know, but that's fine, pi times d, because that's pi times the diameter. Okay, I'm going to make that come over here. And if I have the radius, I'm going to use the other rule, which is circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. It's not cooperating with me now. Times the radius. Okay. The hard work's basically done. I'm going to move it up again. Okay, so when I go through the steps in a sec with an actual example, you will see what sub the values means, and you will see what calculate means. So I'm going to move the screen up. Okay, we have two examples. So our first example here is, what do we have? With this example 1, what do we have? Do I have a radius or diameter? So it goes from one side to the other. So that tells me that I have a diameter equals 6 meters. So that's the first step, isn't it? So when we look at the steps again, the second step is write the rule. So I know that my rule is going to be using the diameter, which is pi d. So the next step is to sub the values. Now I've already got that d equals 6. D equals 6, so we're going to sub the values, equals pi times 6, and I'm going to put that in the calculator. Now I'm just going to save the calculator job for the end. We're going to look at example 2 now. So in this case it goes from the center to the outside, so I know that's radius equals 32 centimeters. So this means I'm going to use the other rule, which is circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. Now we do write the rule every single time because that way it helps us remember it. So now I'm up to sub-values, which is 2 times pi times, now what does the radius equal? 32. All right, and then we're going to get onto our calculator. So now I've got my calculator up. You'll see it's a pretty old one, but it still works. So first thing you have to do with any of your calculators is find pi. So here on this calculator, it's on this button here. It's that little thing there. What I need to do is go Shift, press that button, times 6, and then press equals. So you'll see it gives me 6 pi. For me to actually get it into a decimal, I have to press this button here. And that means that it is equals 18.85. So we'll do 2 decimal places. 18.85, and we don't forget the units, which was meters. So that's that one. Shift it over here so we can do the other one. Clear it. So again, same process. Shift pi times 32, sorry, I'll start again, 2, it didn't matter, 2 times Shift pi times 32 equals that. We'll go Shift, well I don't need to, it's standard to decimals. So this equals 201.06. So we'll write that in, 201.06, and I didn't leave enough room, but centimetres. So hopefully you'll be able to go on and do all those questions.